Okay, so hear this. Sometimes it's hard for us to move ahead in life because we are so focused on other people. We're focused on what somebody did to us. We're focused on what somebody said to us. But I realized something today. And what I realized is that I have enough me to focus on for a lifetime. When you realize that there are so many things in you that God wants to change, there's so many things in you that God wants to update, there's so many things in you that has tagged along the journey that I believe that God wants to take off you. But sometimes we're so focused on people, we're so focused on either trying to be there for people or trying to get ahead or get past what some people did to us. But I wanted to have this conversation with you. I couldn't even wait till I got home. I had to have this conversation with you to let you know that God wants you to work on you in this season. He wants you to work on the past hurts, the past failures, the past things that you have been through that are still making its way into your tomorrow. Because God doesn't want your yesterday to bleed into your tomorrow. So how do we keep our yesterday from bleeding into our tomorrow? I'm glad you asked. We keep our yesterday from bleeding in our tomorrow by addressing and not sweeping what happened to us under the rug. By not just moving past things, because I think us as people, we've gotten so good at moving past things. We've gotten so good at just, sweeping things under the rug, brushing things off. And in one of my classes, I talked about ground zero and how ground zero is the moment of impact, like the moment somebody did something to you, the moment something in you shifted based on somebody else. And a lot of people don't deal with that ground zero. They move past it and not realizing that they are who they are. You are who you are today because of your ground zero. But I believe what God is asking us and telling us to do is we need to start working on what hurt us. We need to start addressing what somebody did to us, and not addressing it to hold on to it, but addressing it to let things go. Because I really believe that God is calling you. Excuse me for the phone shaking, but I ain't got my tripod and this is just real. So God is just trying to get us to realize that you are more than what happened to you. You are more than what somebody said to you. You are more than what somebody did to you. But you have to rise above that. You have to give yourself permission to let it go. You have to give yourself permission to move past it. And when I mean move past it, I mean forgive it and move past it. And in a lot of my classes, a lot of us, we struggle with that forgiveness piece, because sometimes we feel like when we are asking for forgiveness for somebody else, we are trying to extend forgiveness to somebody else, we want them to be able to have enough maturity to acknowledge what they did. But sometimes people's maturity doesn't come until years later. So we need to release that today. You need to release that today. And I was having this conversation with somebody, and I was telling them that I have enough me to work on for the rest of my life. So because I have enough me to work on for the rest of my life, then I can't spend my life looking at what somebody did to me. I can't spend the rest of my life focusing on what somebody said, focusing on how somebody acted towards me, focused on somebody not seeing my value. I can't spend my life like that. You can't spend your life like that. We need to just move past it. And I hear y'all, you don't know what they did, you don't know what they said, but at the end of the day, they already said it, they already did it. So now what is your response? Because a lot of people that have harmed us, a lot of people that have done things to us, they're out living their best life while we are walking around bound. While we are walking around looking for an apology when they can care less about you. So I'm not saying that we need to start excusing people's behaviors or excusing what people do to us. But what I am saying is we can't continue to live with it. We should not allow an offense from yesterday to take up residency in our tomorrow. Because God is calling us to a level of freedom. God is calling you to a level of freedom. So acknowledge what they did, acknowledge the pain. You can even tell them what they did to you, right? But don't stay there. Because I like to say that every situation, every season that God puts us through, it should make us better and not bitter. So just understand that God wants to make you better. He wanted that situation to make you better. Now, mind you, most of this stuff is not comfortable. Most of this stuff is not easy to go through. But what I've learned, I always tell you guys what I've learned. What I've learned is that God doesn't put you through anything just to put you through anything. Whatever God allows you to go through, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, whether you did it or, God is putting you through it, God works all things together for the good. So I think sometimes we need to look at the situation differently. Like, okay, that betrayal, it hurt. But what did it tell me? What did it teach me? Okay, it taught me that God is a forgiving God because I betrayed God many times. When I walked away from him, when I didn't listen to him, when I said that I'll do something and I didn't do it. It teaches us to have that same kind of love, that same kind of compassion. So what did somebody do to you that you refuse to let go of, that you refuse to see that it was working towards your good, right? So we have to think about it. We have to stop looking at it from a one-way street. Most of the time, we look at it from the angle of offense. But what if we start looking at it from the angle of, this is going to make me better, from the angle of, this is producing something? Because if we look at Joseph, y'all stay with me for a minute. If we look at Joseph went through all of the stuff that he went through, being sold into slavery, being thrown into the pit, going into jail, being accused. But it was producing something in him. So what are you going through today that is producing something for your tomorrow? So I wanted just to get on here and just encourage you guys really quick. It's hot where I am. To encourage you guys really quickly to let you know you deserve to let it go. To let you know that God is with you, that God is for you, and stop allowing yesterday's negative situations to live in your tomorrow. If you take anything from what I say today, take that. What happened yesterday, let it stay in yesterday. And what happens tomorrow, let it stay in tomorrow. Don't allow it to come with you any longer. Stop giving your emotions and unforgiveness and all these past mistakes a free ride. God is telling you no more free rides. It's time to step into your future. God bless you.